I think one of the things keeping me from entering into the relationship forum on purpose, one of the things is a sense of transactional economy base. I'll show you mine if you show me yours first. Kind of a thing. Love becoming incidental.
This is the better one.
Yeah.
They don't,
Put them all together. At the end, I'll check them.
the other ones come apart, and this ones are stronger.
Yeah, they have different functions. One's good for insulation. Yeah. So there's like love. People say love. When we're talking about love, I go, I love my cousin. What's that mean? It means I love, like, I want him to do well. I want him to be well. I want him to be healthy. I want good things for him. Ultimately, right? I want him to be okay, like happy with his life, whatever that means. I don't want to have to date him for him to be happy, but I want him to be able to have happiness because I love him. My kids, I love my kids. What's that mean? That means I care so much about you motherfuckers that, like, if you call me up and say, Dad, I'm sad, I'll drop absolutely everything and be like, why? It's consideration. It's attention that's sincere for a practical reason. Because you want your kid to ride the bike themselves. The father, my father taught me, one of my fathers. I was with him when I learned how to ride a bike, and he did the dad thing, which was he held onto the seat. And once I got going, he let go. And then by the time you realize that the person's not holding the seat anymore, you're already riding a bike. But it's not because if it was because he was holding it, then I still wouldn't be able to ride a bike today. I'd be like, no, I need you like a teddy bear to keep holding my bike, but that would hold me back. So love, it's different, right? There's a lot of different tones and ways to be loving. When we get to like romantic relationships, that seems to get all fuck old. Maybe it's just me. But what I've noticed is there's this tendency for us to seek for the things that are the least healthy in a long-term relationship. Like, that's the easiest way to couple, is if you ignore all the red flags. And you're like, you know what? Fuck it, we all got red flags. You're here. Bah. Now, okay, on an island, there's only two of us. You know what? I'm going to probably do that. I'll be like, you and me, I guess is, you know what? Gratitude. I'm not alone. You're not alone. Let's make the best of this. Like, you seem nice. Why fight? Well, I mean, that changes when you're in a city with 50,000 directions to go in. You're like, oh my gosh, now wait, is this up to me now? I have to like sort through all the different possibilities and then I pick? I'm an idiot. Like, that's stupid. I'll totally fail. I'll pick the wrong thing every time. The things I like are stupid things. They're like, oh, pretty. Look, has boobies, is pretty, was nice to me once. You know what? Let's get married. Wait, oh God, I should be more. No, don't. So I'm not trying to pick. I don't have any, I mean, other than like, I'm like a woman when it comes to relationships. I'm waiting for you to come to me and be like, look, I like you. And I'm like, seriously? Why? How come? Well, what do you mean, like? Like, I think you're attractive. All right, cool. Now, What, you want to cuddle or something? Like, you want to make tea together and talk about philosophy? I mean, you can play board games. I'm pretty good at board games. That's when people get confused. I'm getting this idea, it's sense that, like, really, people are trying to cut to the chase before we even get started. In most of the meetup places, it's like, are you someone I could maybe couple with? And you're like, whoa, shouldn't we get to know each other first? You know, and like, do we have things in common? Are we looking for this relationship to last longer than like 3 weeks? How about 3 months? Maybe 3 years. If it's gonna last, we have to like each other, and we have to be like cool to each other and considerate and loving in a way that's like family loving. I can trust you loving. You can count on me loving. That's the shit that counts for the relationship to last. The sex makes it more complicated most of the time if you do it early. Because then you shortcut the other shit. You're like, fuck it, we don't need to talk. We just have sex. And we communicate great when we don't talk. Touch it, touch it, touch it, touch me. Sorry. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm just saying aliens. So I feel a little bit like an alien when it comes to it, because I'm like, aren't we supposed to be meeting people and like, because we have mutual interests, we're mutual plants we're trying to grow, things we water in our life, and we're going, we both like the same things. You know what? Let's coordinate. We'll take turns watering. Oh my gosh, I can get a break. That'd be cool. That'd take the pressure off. Then you know what? I'll water for you. And then you could go sauna. It'd be okay. Step one. Now, if after that step where you're like, we can work together, and neither one has to be the boss. That's the part. Because the other part is like, how do I make sure this works for me, even if you don't want it to? Or you don't do what I want you to. And at that point, people either take shortcuts and cheat, literally kind of cheat their partner by manipulating them. And is this kind of open-faced manipulation where you're like, okay, I know you're kind of abusing this little aspect here, just don't get entitled about it and we're cool. Like, take it as me doing extra. Don't take it as like, aha, I tricked him into doing something nice. That sucks. Like, do you want flowers from someone you tricked into giving you flowers? Why? They're an idiot. Get what you pay for. Anyway, so all I'm really saying is, how the fuck does one get involved in a normal relationship with someone without any like past lovers being the focus of attention, trauma from past relationships? I have kids, like I ain't tripping on people having children, but okay, now we're getting into tricky territory. Like, what happened with the last boy which you had children with? Where's Papa? Like, he was a dick, he was unfair, so I kicked him out and got a new dude, and now I'm lonely because nobody wants to be with me because I got kids from someone else. No shit. Nobody wants the extra responsibility of like raising your children in exchange for like, I don't know, cuddling or something. You're gonna pay him? No, that's like, so you're like, I'll cuddle you if you raise my kids like a man instead of your own kids. Which then right there, you're already like, well, shouldn't I be raising my own kids if I'm raising some kids? So like, yeah, but mine are right here. Fair. It's ellipsis worlds, I get it. But there's this certain like responsibility part where it's like you coming into the relationship clean, in terms of like, you're not trying to latch me with any leashes or collars or put a fucking ankle bracelet on me and track me some, you know, like a pet. Make me roll over. Okay, sit up, beg. Okay, now we can have sex. You're like, damn it, why do I have to do that every time? You're like, shut up. You're okay, good. You get a treat. You're like, have a butterfinger. I'm just saying. If, you know, does that sound fun to you? I could see it as a kink for like a short phase of the relationship. But you know what I'm saying? Like at most, I ain't trying to be in a dynamic where the person's like, haha, I explain this bitch and boss them around to other people. like, honey, this is embarrassing. What are you doing? This is demoralizing. Like, you're talking about me to other people. Like, don't punk me in front of the neighbors, please. That's like, that's inappropriate, man. I didn't sign up for this. Like, shut up. Okay, here's a treat. So what I'm saying is I don't want that type of relationship. However, if that's your power kink, and I'm helping you work through childhood trauma, relationship, bonding, imprints, or whatever, sure, like we could do a workshop, you know what I'm saying? I'll work with you. I'm like, we're partners. I'll role play for you, like, so that you can feel better. Yeah, of course, if I love you, you're my partner, I trust you're not gonna abuse the like privilege and be like, okay, now I just want you to do this all the time. Like, follow me around on a leash, or I'm breaking up with you. You're like, dude, this is totally not fair. Are you gonna wear the leash next? They're like, no. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying that'd take one hell of a bad bitch that really loved me so much. I'm like, honey, you must have a reason. Like, for some reason, okay, this must be best for both of us. I trust you. You've never lied to me before or done anything to me to demoralize me. So on faith, I'll do it this one time. If this turns out to be a trick, I know, fuck that. Be like, that was the one time. Nope, that was it. You should have gotten more cameras. You didn't. You fucked up. That was it. Now next time you got to do it before I do it again. Fair's fair. That's how my relationships are reciprocity based. So I don't need you. You don't need me. That makes it better. There's no neediness. It's just gifts given from our own lovingness of wanting to be considerate. As soon as you're paranoid and start to be like, well, I don't know if you love me enough, like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, I'm here with you. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? They're like, yeah, but you could leave me someday. You're like, yeah, you better fucking not forget that and not be a dowry fucking unhappy bitch. I'll be like, I don't want to be around you. I'm gonna go do something else. Like, don't do that. Don't abuse your like relationship so that you can feel better outside of it. Like, what? I'm saying the last few relationships I even tried to engage in, and I'm saying out of all of them, only one of them in the last like 7 years even came to us, like sleeping together, maybe 2. And that was like one time. It was like, okay, is this like us being together now for like maybe forever, unless someone does something over a line that's like crossing boundaries or, you know, breaking trust on a level. And I don't know, they just seem so self-absorbed that they couldn't trust that I really liked them, so they had to like play games with me to make sure that they had me trapped, and didn't have to change themselves to come up and be more self-respectful and have dignity and be like, you know what, I'm an adult, you don't owe me shit, I love you, you love me, let's make this work. They're like playing games and she's like, I don't want to fight with you. You're like, why are you trying to start a fight? Like, this is uncharacteristic and doesn't seem healthy. I was fine before you got here, and you're like picking at me like I did something wrong. That's inappropriate. I didn't do shit to you. If you're mad about someone else, go pick at them. And if you're feeling repressed, okay, say, hey, I'm feeling a bunch of pressure right now, and I'm like really unhappy, and I just want to do this and maybe go watch a movie and cuddle and have some food. Would you mind could you make dinner? Did you? Oh, it's already made. And Coco? Oh my God, you're great. All right. That's how that works. That's the flow. When it's a person coming back being like, my life isn't quite right. Maybe if I fuck with you, it'll get better. So there's the secrets to relationships from a man's point of view. I'm a healthy man. I ain't trying to be all caught up in sex and pretty glitzy blah blah. Like, I get it. It's real. Like, it's stupid, but like, priorities, unless it's going to be something that can maintain itself until we're on a porch, and I can see that. From here to on a porch in rocking chairs, ugly, old, broken, in fucking pain, frustrated, pissed off at the world, maybe. Still happy to have that person next to me to just maybe feebly hold their hand. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here, honey. You know what? Fuck all that dumb shit. At least we have each other. Life's nice. Arr. All right, let's go skateboard.